160キロだ
So if you guys are super confused by the intro video, that was Shohei Ohtani in high school. If you guys didn't see, he threw that baseball 160 kilometers per hour. What does that equate to in American terms? That's 99.4 miles an hour. Shohei was throwing 100 at 16, 17 years old, dropping bombs. I mean, this guy was electric, and he still is electric. I can't wait to see him in the 2020 season. So what's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another recap. Do you remember yesterday or a couple days ago how I said that the one word that could describe the video was a roller coaster? Yeah, we have yet another roller coaster video because players are now choosing to sit out. I'm not talking about just random Joe Schmoes, but one thing I do want to show you guys is here are all the new rules. Now, one thing that is going to be in effect as well is that Major League Baseball is going to try and curtail umpire travel. What does that mean? They're going to try and make sure that umpires are not going from A to B, from B to C. They want them really all to huddle in one place and really just stay there. Can I make a proposition? Can we make sure that Angel Hernandez gets stuck in like Siberia? Can we send him like this is the perfect opportunity to make sure that Angel Hernandez is never able to umpire another game for the rest of history? Because if you guys don't know who he is, check this man out. These are his best highlights.
Let's see if we have him looking at Hernandez. Oh, now Brad's gone. Brad's been tossed too now. All he did was look. Oh, jeez.
All right. We're not going to make fun of Angel Hernandez anymore, but do you remember how I said today's a roller coaster video? Yeah, that was the peak. Now we have to come down a little bit because top prospect of the San Francisco Giants, Hunter Bishop, just tested positive for you-know-what. So he is unable to compete in the 2020 Major League Baseball season, which is a big time. That's big. He was the 10th overall pick just a year ago. And we're going to talk about how players drafted a week ago are already going to make the big league team and play Major League Baseball this year, which is the craziest thing I think I've ever said. The fact that you can get signed and play baseball within 2 weeks on a Major League Baseball club, that has never happened before. So just a wild time that 2020 is. But because of Hunter Bishop and the fact that he tested positive for that, it validates what all of these Major League players are saying when they sit out. They are now opting out of their $5 million contracts, their $7 million contracts. It first started off with Arizona Diamondbacks. I believe he's on the Diamondbacks. Pitcher Mike Leake. Now, he was not great in 2019, and I'm not saying that you guys shouldn't care because these aren't the best players, and we're talking about Joe Ross and Ryan Zimmerman and Ian Desmond. But Mike Leake is choosing to stay home because he has family-related health issues, and I respect him for that. I need to let you guys know that this is not the opportunity to start saying baseball players are selfish, blah, blah, blah. I know that they said when and where, and now a lot of people are saying I'm not playing anymore because of the health issues, but you got to put it into perspective. All of these guys have families and wives that are pregnant, which is why I brought up Garrett Cole. A lot of people were saying, Fuzzy, that video is clickbait. It's not clickbait because Ryan Zimmerman is sitting out for the same exact reason. He has a wife that is at risk a little bit higher because of the fact that she has, they have kids, and I believe that she's pregnant as well. The same goes for Joe Ross. The same goes for Joe Ross. He is citing health concerns from a family perspective. And then also Ian Desmond. Ian Desmond dropped the mic harder than any of these guys. Not only did he cite health and safety, the fact that he's going to sit out because of that, he also is citing that he wants to work on his community and the game of baseball as a whole, because he said that there's not very many African-American baseball players in terms of the youth baseball league, so he wants to try and change that up. Now, I will say a lot of people were getting on him because he said there's a lack of diversity, but then we have one of the most diverse games in baseball. Again, you guys have to, apply some context to that. He was really meaning the youth and the African-American community, so I mean, that's what's happening in baseball 2020. We have the corona going around. We have players opting out after we just, negotiated for 2 months trying to get the game back. So I think a lot of people are going to give them flack just because they said when and where, and now they're sitting out. But I urge you guys to put yourself in their shoes. I know it's kind of hard. It's really hard to be empathetic with a millionaire, but a lot of these guys, they were going to make $15 million. Now it's going to be like $3 million. And to them, it's not worth it to sacrifice their family's lives in order to make that much money. So again, very touchy subject. It's very weird the fact that we even have to talk about this, and I know that you guys are going to have a fun time in the comment section with this story. So what do you guys make of Mike Leake, Joe Ross, Ryan Zimmerman, and last but not least, Ian Desmond coming out and saying that they're not going to be playing, one, because of health and safety, and two, Ian Desmond, he thinks that there is a bigger problem to solve aside from the health and safety, and that is the diversity in Major League Baseball in terms of the youth, because a lot of people just they don't want to play baseball growing up, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. I guess the NBA and the NFL are just a whole lot cooler amongst the youth. You can see that in video games with Madden and NBA 2K. They get 10 times more views than any other creator on MLB The Show. So that's just, again, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Now, I do want to say there were a couple transactions that were of note. The Rockies are going to replace Ian Desmond with Matt Kemp. Now remember, Matt Kemp is kind of an old man. He is not the potential 40-40 threat that he was back in the day with the Dodgers, but I think him and Coors Field, that's a match made in heaven. I'm excited to see what happens, especially the fact that the Rockies will have a DH, so he could be their designated hitter. Maybe Daniel Murphy can learn how to play a better second base. Who knows? The Yankees picked up third baseman Matt Duffy. I really like that. He can be a solid bench bat or someone that can be on the taxi squad going back and forth. We also have the Mets. The Mets signed a bunch of different guys, but the top two, in my opinion, one, Hunter Strickland. He wasn't the best in 2019, but he is serviceable. I think that he can help out that bullpen. And then also Melky Cabrera, the milkman, the Mr. Steroid himself. I think he's pretty solid as well. He should be able to contribute in 2020. Now, speaking of the taxi squad, A's first rounder Tyler Soderstrom just signed for $3.3 million a couple days ago because he was drafted in the first round, and now he is going to be invited to the 60-man roster. In the span of 1 month, he's going to get drafted and play Major League Baseball, which is honestly when is the last time that has ever happened? And actually, I think Mike Leake was one of the guys that was drafted and went straight to the league. He never played a game of minor league baseball, which is kind of like the perfect bow on this video. Is we have Mike Leake sitting out, but then we have Tyler Soderstrom making the Major League Baseball roster. That's crazy. And then also a superstar in the making. Remember this name. I'm telling you this because my younger brother, you guys know Chasen. He has a really keen eye for players that are going to pop. He's been right so far on the majority of the players that he's told me about. Bobby Witt Jr. He was just invited to Spring Training 2.0 by the Kansas City Royals, so look out for him. If you guys have a fantasy league or a dynasty league, Bobby Witt and Tyler Soderstrom, they will be available to pick this year, and I would go with Bobby Witt Jr. because that guy, he looks like the next Trevor Story, but someone that doesn't strike out as much. So when you have Trevor Story, but he gets on base a little bit more often, I mean, that might be the best shortstop in all of baseball. Him and Bo Bichette, they are going to carry that position for the next 10 years, 15 years. I'm super excited. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Please let me know in the comment section down below, what are your opinions on everything? The fact that spring training starts tomorrow, the umpires are not going to be able to travel as much because they want to minimize the damage. We have Hunter Bishop of the Giants testing positive, so now he has to be out, and because of that, Mike Leake, Joe Ross, we have Ryan Zimmerman, Ian Desmond all sitting out, choosing to forego millions of dollars to protect their family. I respect it. You know, I'll be honest, Ian Desmond also brought up a point that there's a lot of kind of bullies in the locker rooms of baseball, and I would agree. Growing up, even though I was mainly in the baseball scene, I still interacted with a lot of people. Hands down, baseball players when I was growing up were one of the worst groups of people I've ever met in entire life. It's almost like they had some sort of God complex. So he's standing up to that as well, which I respect. I know a lot of kids that quit baseball because some of these kids are just ruthless and they bully you and they make you want to just not play anymore, which is unfortunate, and we need to stop that. But guys, that's the end of today's video. We're going to get into this day in Major League Baseball history, starting off with in 1908. Cy Young no-hits the Yankees at 41 years old. The rest of them are going to have some clips. Thank you guys for watching. Like, sub, all that different stuff. Catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe.
Eddie Murray looking for hit number 3,000. To the right side, and there it is. Eddie Murray is the 20th man to get 3,000 hits in the major league. He driven in the air toward left field. That ball is deep. That ball is way back.